and it should, hold on a second. Let me check the problem. There's a problem here. Let me, hold on a second. Let me check, find out what the problem is. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. Okay. Hey, Nancy. Hello, everybody. This is Ginger, Ginger's Ranch Show. If my microphone sounds a little scratchy, my Facebook changed their algorithm again, especially in the Facebook Live. So I cannot switch to my other microphone. So I'll just do my best, and I'll see where I am, and I'm going to order a new webcam. See how that goes. So anyway, I hope all is well. I don't know if you guys heard early, I guess late last night or early this morning over in Syria and Turkey, they just had a major earthquake. Right now they think it's a 7.8. I don't know what it is exactly, how bad the earthquake is. Hold on a second. I don't see it. Okay. Okay, the earthquake happened in Syria. They didn't stay. Okay. It says powerful earthquake, but they don't have the Richter numbers yet. My phone's yelling at me. Anyway, it's pretty bad over there, and it's basically centered between Turkey and Syria, and it's a major geologic event over there. I feel sorry for them. They're really getting clobbered earthquake-wise. So, prayers for them and help if you can, that type of thing. Especially go to the Red Cross to help. And the international, there's another organization that, World Food Kitchen and some of the other organizations, humanitarian organizations that do help. And many of those are non-profit. If they need to, in order for organizations to be part of humanitarian, they have to be non-profit. I think it's per the rules. I saw it. I read that somewhere. So, on top of that, then just early this morning, today, over near Niagara Falls, in the town of Niagara Falls, New York, Western New York, they had an earthquake. And that one registered as a 3.8, and it was enough to wake everybody up. I mean, there was a big whoosh and a big jolt. Someone said they heard a whistle, and it sounded like a sonic boom whistle. I remember when we get them over here, and the eerie feeling that you get when you hear a sonic boom, and you go, okay, This does not sound good. Um, Earthquakes are not to be made fun of or laughed at. They can be very serious. And especially when there's a building that's older and hasn't been kept in repair and everything else, things can fall down. It can happen. It depends on what kind of soil it's built on. That's another thing to think about. Uh, like back in 1949, Seattle, Washington had a real nasty earthquake. And that earthquake was centered near the Nisqually Basin, river basin. There's a fault there underneath the river. So when that shifts, um, that causes big problems, especially in the Puyallup Valley area. A lot of it has been built on silt or deadpan clay, silt or sand. Over in Renton, it's basically on sand, and like the growing plant there in Renton, it sits on sand, and so you really feel the effects more because the ground is shifting so much. Um, Not a very nice feeling. It's kind of scary, and you hope the building will hold together. You really do. Uh, Unfortunately, during that time frame when the 2001 earthquake hit, um, it we lost one building. One fell down, or well, pretty much fell down, because the one building was not totally repaired properly after the 1965 earthquake. Of course, now that building no longer exists. They tore it down after the 2001 earthquake because it was so badly damaged. And well, you know what? That has to go. Another building had to be torn down as well. Um, and there were a number of people, employees, hurt from that too. So when we do get one here, we try to take precautions. In event of an earthquake, don't stand in the doorway. Uh, get under a table, or if you can, be next to a wall, or get under a table, grab a blanket or something, and wrap yourself in a blanket, because sometimes glass has a nasty habit of shattering. Because of all the sonic stuff that's going on. The sonic waves and everything because of the earthquake. So, you just need to take precautions and just pray through it. Not much you can do during the earthquake. All you can do is just get underneath, sit down, hold on, and pray. And just hope everything holds together. The other thing that's going on, I'm seeing that the Republicans are being a bunch of idiots, if you will, and they are idiots. Uh, they don't know how government works, especially in the right wing group, the radical group. They don't know how government works, and many of you did not study civics very well. And, I think there should be a requirement that all senators and representatives that want to work on the federal level, well, especially in the local state level as well as the federal level, they need to take a civics course and pass it. So they understand how it works, and the procedures and everything. I don't feel anybody that knows how procedures work and everything else. I don't think they ever study for it. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Bulber, Gates, Jordan. All they do is go on the other stuff that's really, I feel, is not really the big issues there. And they're the ones that got all upset because we shot down the Chinese, by the way, that's my next topic. The Chinese balloon that we shot down yesterday morning, or yesterday across the Atlantic Ocean. The president said, you know, I talked to the Pentagon. I said, yeah, let's wait until it drifts over, until it's out in the open ocean, then shoot it down. You just don't want any debris or anything falling down and hurting people and property damage and everything. They said when it did fall, it was like over a 7-mile area, so they were scooping up all the parts and everything else and doing some studying on it. Now, there is a second balloon that they also discovered, which South America has, I think it's over Chile, going over Chile. Chile informed our government and saying, hey, there's another balloon that's going across. I don't know how secure Chile is on their military stuff and everything. Where that balloon was drifting toward and where it's going over and everything. But there was a similar balloon that was done when he who shall not be named was in office, and he didn't do anything about it. He just didn't care. And when I was getting intelligence, hello, President Biden said that balloon was not authorized in space. We didn't know that was going on until it came over here. Canada informed President Biden, and of course Canada is pretty much populated now across their airspace, that they didn't want to shoot down a balloon over civilian populations either. So they said, well, if it comes down your end, maybe you could knock it down. And so we go, okay, well, knock it down once over the Atlantic Ocean, which is a smart move. I don't know what China was thinking, because they have satellites up there too, and you know, it's getting to the point now where they have their so-called open sky treaty, but the country is supposed to inform the other country that say, hey, we're flying over a weather balloon or something like this, or a airplane and doing atmospheric tests and everything. Inform the other country on this. What the other countries are not supposed to do is send over spy planes or anything. So I think China made a mistake on that. They didn't inform us about the balloon. And they got caught doing it, and it should have not been in our airspace. They said it was up high enough that it was not anywhere near the commercial air traffic line, you know, the corridors there. But still, it's a safety issue. And especially when we also send up our rockets too. I don't know what these guys are thinking. I really don't. I think they're getting desperate. Let's see on the other thing. I don't know if any of you watched the Pro Bowl games. It was fun to watch. The guys were having fun. They were relaxed. A lot of them liked the flag football better, in many ways. Less chance of getting hurt. Except one running back did get hurt. He apparently jammed his toe in the ground, and when he fell and jammed it, and he dislocated his toe. Poor guy. That hurts. Really does. But otherwise, they had fun. The NFC won the Pro Bowl games, and the two quarterbacks in the three flag ball games. They had three separate flag football games, and if you win all three, based on points. Just if you can catch the video on YouTube, they have a video posted on it. The NFL did. They have a video posted on there of the game. Those that missed it, and it was fun to watch. It really was. And they showed how basically, in many ways, it showed how they were trained to do all this. So, even the kids had fun with their dads on the field. There were some kids on the field helping out and watching their dads play. And some said that they wished there was a way of getting the professional players, kids together, and they could play flag football and watch them play. Be good exercise. So, let's see what else. I didn't have a chance to write everything down. Okay, the State of the Union is supposed to be tomorrow. President Biden. Let's see. Okay, on Tuesday night tomorrow, he's going to be doing the State of the Union address, and speech is set for 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. my time. And it's going to be available on YouTube, Facebook. Hold on a second. Okay, now. Alright, sorry, that was my maintenance guy and my Tabla meals came, so I'm good there. Anyway, back to this. Anyway, Facebook, they said Facebook, Twitter, C-SPAN, C-SPAN Radio, and C-SPAN.org, and NPR is broadcasting the speech. So it's tomorrow night, March 5th. So it's 9 p.m. Eastern, and of course here in my neck of the woods, the Pacific Northwest, it's 6 p.m. here. So I'm going to watch that and everything. I'm glad he timed it that way. I don't like doing watching the speech and then trying to do my rant. Well, my rant would be earlier in the day anyway, so. But, you know how it is when they do these announcements. And of course, as usual, the GOP, the GOP, the radical elements, not willing to work with President Biden whatsoever. They want to do it their way or the highway. Well, I got news for them. They're going to do it. We're going to do it the proper way. And it's not going to be their way at all. And I think now they need to wake up and start listening. And stop acting like spoiled children. That's what they're acting like. They're acting like they're he who shall not be named. I really can't stand people like that. Even if it's sort of funny, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she attacked the Midas Touch, the liberal radio station here that does podcasts here. She attacked them, and they were laughing at her. He said, we speak the truth, and we don't like lying. And, sorry, just 1 minute. I hope I'm not catching cold. Anyway, so like I said, we need to push back and need to take. If your senator or representative sends you a poll, what you want to see prioritized and everything, do those polls and send it back to them. Then send them back to other suggestions. This is what needs to be done, and remind them who they're working for, which is you. You gotta keep pushing that in. Say, you work for me. You don't work for corporations. And corporations are getting bit back. Now, some of them put up all kinds of crap by laying off people, and they didn't want unionization and everything else, and they want to do it their way, and then go, everything I go, well, you know what? There's always going to be a group of people that get together and start a new company and take that big conglomerate company and put them out of business. Workers now begin to realize that the companies are not the only game in town. People can work for themselves. So, okay, well, how are things in Wisconsin, Nancy? Hope good. Hope the weather's not too bad. The Santa Ana winds have been hitting California really hard. I don't know if you saw on YouTube, there is from friends from Big Bear Valley. They have a web camera up there, perched up on a tree up there to observe and watch the bald eagles when they're raising their family. Oh, come on. Anyway, not one term. I'm not really awake yet. They're watching the eagles and how they develop their family and their behavior and how they take care of themselves and everything. It was fun to watch. Poor Jackie, the male, or Shadow the male, he was really getting blown on because the winds were really high up there. He was up in a tree minding the eggs, and poor Shadow was or not shadow, but poor Jackie, she was having trouble trying to land because the wind kept pushing her away from the tree. Flying was kind of hard up there because the way the wind was going. It was blowing pretty hard. It was going 9 miles per hour, but the gusts were higher than that in California. And of course, you have all the snow and rain and storms going on. And since we're getting closer to spring, we're going to have to batten down the hatches, especially when tornadoes hit. Of course, tornadoes have been hitting all winter because of our wild storms and hurricanes. So, not everybody has been having it easy. Up here in the Pacific Northwest, where I grew up here, we've been pretty lucky. All once in a while we do get a real bad windstorm come through here. But we're mostly protected by the coastal mountains here. And so we don't get a direct wind draft. Unless you're up more toward the sound, like Juan de Fuca and up north in the Northwest Passage, ways there and the seas there, then yeah, it'll get pretty windy up there. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'll post this on my YouTube channel. And be sure to insist, persist, and push back. Watch the President's speech tomorrow night. And see what he has to say and everything. Especially, pretty much I think he's going to talk about what happened this past week, too. So, anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Take care. Love to all. And, be sure to insist, persist, and push back. Take care. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.